Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about how to calculate a percentage value of another number value. First of all, the word of in maths always stands for a multiplication. So when you see of, exchange it with the multiplication symbol straight away. And the same goes for our percentage symbol. There's different interpretations in maths as to what I can do with that symbol. The first one is what we talked about yesterday. It's a division by 100, so I can write it down as such. I can write it as a division by 100 and cancel out the zeros there and multiply 3 by 5, which is 15. Another way of interpreting that percentage symbol would be a movement of our decimal point. A division by 100 moves a decimal point 2 positions to the left. So instead of writing down 3% times 500, I can say that's the same as 3 times 5, because if I use my percentage symbol on the 500, I'm actually dividing 500 by 100, which is just 5. So that movement of the decimal point is something really handy, and especially if I have numbers ending in zeros, that means I'm allowed to cut 2 zeros out. So that movement of the decimal point with numbers ending in 0 actually results in cutting off zeros. So this works really handy when you have numbers ending in 0. So for example, 2% of 300 would either be that movement of the decimal point to the left, or I'm cutting out 2 of the zeros, and that's what I'm going to go with. So instead of writing down 2% times 300, I'm going to write down that this is actually 2 times 3, which is 6, and that's my answer for 2% of 300. Let's now look at 50% of 70. This time I don't have enough zeros in one of the numbers, so I'm going to steal one of each of the numbers. So I end up multiplying 5 by 7, which is 35. For 20% of 2,500, I'm going to use that same concept of being allowed to pick and choose where I want to take my zeros off in my favor. So I, for example, do not like to multiply 20 by 25. Just don't like it. But what I do like to multiply is 2 times 250. I find that easier. So that would be just 500. So I can pick where I want to take the zeros off. And one more exercise to show that would be 70% of 200. I can either take 2 zeros off the 200 and therefore multiply 70 by 2, which would be 140, or I can say, well, I'd rather take 1 zero away of each of them, so I multiply 7 by 20, or 20 by 7, which also is 140, giving me the same result.